Silent Hill 2 came out in 2001. It's a survival horror game that has puzzles and enemies to fight and mysteries to solve. More recently, in 2024, Silent Hill 2 Remake was released. And the remake is a full remake of the game. Every aspect of it has been changed. They've kept the story, they've kept a lot of the main things in the game, but it does play a bit different. Graphically, as you can see on screen now, Silent Hill 2, the original one, it was okay for its time, but now it's aged very poorly. Stylistically, the game did have its own style, and it was slightly different from other games in the way that it was made. And it is really good to actually see that in the remake, they kept the same kind of style to it, and they kept the same kind of graphical design. But as you can see now on the screen, the graphics have been massively improved in the remake. So much more detail has been put into it, and just attention to detail is amazing. And it doesn't stop there. It's not all about the graphics. It's also the audio, the way that they've changed the audio and they've made it much more atmospheric. And as you'll see later on in this video, the way that they've redesigned the fog with the volumetric lighting and fog that really reacts when you move through it as opposed to the original. This video is going to be clips of the original game and the remake back to back so you can see the differences between them, and I will be talking through it a little bit just to give you an idea of what I see as differences between the two games. One thing they have done with the remake is they've actually tried to keep it as close to the original as possible. You'll notice that in the bathroom scene, for example, they've kept the same kind of design and layout, they've just upgraded it and made it a lot better. And as you'll see in a moment when he travels outside, they've kept the same design there too. The only real difference is the fact that the lighting, the design and the graphics themselves have been updated to massively improve it. The other thing that you'll notice is this kind of isometric view that they selected for the original Silent Hill, which is in par with the same kind of horror games like Resident Evil at the time, where they had a fixed camera that kind of moved a little bit as you moved, but you had no control over it. Silent Hill 2 Remake, on the other hand, is a third-person game. This means, of course, you can see ahead of you much further than you could in the original. It also means that the developers had to put in a lot more effort into creating scary moments in the game because you can see far ahead of yourself. One of the benefits to that top-down kind of fixed camera angle of the older horror games was the fact that they could restrict your view and you couldn't see what was up that hallway or around that corner. You had to wait until you got there before the camera switched and suddenly there was a zombie there or some kind of creature ready to attack you. Obviously, when it comes to a third-person camera, that's a lot harder to do because you can't control what the person can see as much. But the way they've solved this issue is by using lighting and fog in order to kind of limit your view so you can't see as far as you would in other third-person games. As you can see here, the view's limited to the point where it shows you certain areas that you can see, and as you move through the level, the camera moves as it wants to. As opposed to the more up-to-date game, you have the ability to control the camera completely and therefore see exactly what you want to and exactly where you want to. Another thing you'll also notice is that the general level design has stayed the same. They haven't changed it or redesigned it completely. They've updated the graphics of it, but they've kept the general layout the same. Near the start of the game, you run through the wooded area and you come to this kind of well where you have the ability to save the game. And they've done the same in the more up-to-date version with the well in the same place, followed by the graveyard that is right after it. As you can see, the cutscenes and the way that it was created back then had more of a mist to the screen in order to kind of give you that freaky kind of look and try to create that kind of spooky feel to it. As opposed to the newer one, they've not needed to do that with the fog as much in the actual scene. They've recreated it with the exact graphics that you actually see in the game, which is something we see more and more with more modern games. And there's just a slight amount of fog there to create that spookiness without going overboard. The scenes themselves actually play out exactly the same, with your character going up and saying something to the person and making them jump. It happens in both games exactly the same. The dialogue and everything has just been kept. The only real different thing you'll notice here is that sometimes the dialogue misses little bits out, or it's in a different order to create a fresher feel to it. Both games have that fog that blocks your view ahead of it, except I feel that the newer one, it does have this feel where the mist and the fog kind of moves around you as you move through the level, as if it's trying to restrict your view rather than just being fog in the level. The first scene where you see the creature has been dramatically changed, and I can say the combat is definitely a lot smoother, as you would expect. The combat in the original game was very kind of clunky and you could just do one swing and that's about it. The remake has a much more dynamic style of combat, which you will see in a moment when it gets to that part of the clip, and then I'll carry on talking about that. Like I said, the combat in the remake is so much more dynamic in the way it allows you to fight enemies. It allows you to take multiple strikes one after another, as well as give you the ability to actually stomp on the enemies when they're on the floor, even after you've killed them, which seems like a bit much, but yeah, it's what they're allowing you to do. Overall, I feel like the remake is a massive improvement over the original game, not just because of technical changes and advancements and graphical advancements, but just generally the way that they did stick to the story the same. They didn't change it too much, and they kept everything when it comes to level design and the general feel of the game exactly the same. And for this makes the remake a win in my books. If you haven't already seen my review of this game, which is quite a quick review, check out the video up there to have a watch of that. Or if you would like to see the full unedited gameplay, check out the video over on the left side, because you might enjoy seeing the entire thing uncut.